Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to another episode of Crash Landing. So I'm getting a whole bunch of bananas here so that I can make a whole bunch of the delighted meals that we need so that we can have our ultimate food. And I've got a very good reason for that. I want to be able to make sure that I have a whole bunch of saturation and energy and all of that, because I have really big plans for today, and let me explain. So if we come in here, we'll just go ahead and drop off all this bone meal and bananas, and we will look at wither skulls. I have 97 wither skulls. So what I would like to do is fight as many wither bosses as I can. Now this is going to take a lot of healing and a lot of stamina to take care of, and so also to help out here, I'm going to be making a whole bunch of the heart canisters. So if we take a look at the hearts, I have 11 of the miniature red hearts. Now that means that I can gain an additional 10 hearts. I don't have any yellow hearts currently. I am assuming I'm probably going to get some of those from the wither boss themselves. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and make up a few of those heart canisters. So to make the heart canister, we need jeweled apples, which takes 4 diamonds for each one. Now I'm going to go ahead and just put this in here, but if we look at how many diamonds I have a good number. So this is not going to be an issue at all. So I'm going to go ahead and make 10 of these jeweled apples. Oh, well, that was something I did not expect, was running out of apples. So I will have to go and get some more apples as well. But in the meantime, we will also make these empty canisters, which take just aluminum ingots. We can also use bones with tin, but we don't have a lot of uses for the aluminum anyway. I've been using it as a building block even, so I mean, I just don't really have anything to do with it. So I'm going to go ahead and make up a bunch of those. And this should be all that we need. We've got tons and tons of the necrotic bones, so that won't be an issue either. So we'll grab our 8 heart canisters that we're able to make right now. And if we go in here and drop these onto our person, we should see very shortly that we will be getting tons and tons of extra hearts, which that is a very good thing for fighting the wither boss. So I'm trying to decide where I want to fight this thing. And I'm not entirely sure where. I don't really want to go out in the open, but I also don't want to be anywhere near my base. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Shouldn't really have too much issue with it chasing after other mobs. It should be pretty well focused on me. But at the same time, I don't want to be so far away that it's going to cause a problem with getting back should I happen to die. So I'm going to make up the last few heart canisters that I need. Make sure that I have enough soul sand and food and everything to be able to survive. And I'm also probably going to repair my armor as well, because I believe my armor is, almost dead. So I'm going to go ahead and repair my armor. I'll figure out, I'll probably just make a new chest plate, which I have not made yet. And then I will come back and we'll decide where we're going to be fighting these wither bosses. So I will be back in just a little bit. So to start out with, I've grabbed enough wither skulls and soul sand to take on 8 wither bosses. And I think I've pretty much got everything that I could need here. I'm not entirely sure why I have this bow, but I have my needle gun ammo, or my needle gun, and I have 31 magazines of needle gun ammo. I have my sword with me. I have my jetpack just in case I should happen to need it. The camel pack I don't have to worry about because that'll be automatically restored for me. Got my diamond chest plate that I will put on when it's time to fight. And I've got a little bit of food with me. Now, what I'm thinking of doing here, I was looking at the map, and I think we're going to come straight east of the base here. There's a big open area here, and I think that might be a good place to fight the wither boss. So I'm going to go down here and we are going to set up the first boss and see how we do against him. So here's something I have not seen yet on this map, and that is me in full diamond armor. So I think we're ready for this. So I'm going to go ahead and place down our first wither boss, and I guess we're going to have to hope for the best here. So here we go. Now I know the needle gun is a pretty good weapon against this guy, because it has no drop in its ammo, but also because there's nothing around here to draw the wither boss in. Oh, he's shooting at me. Here we go. Can't hit me too good. So I believe mob griefing is turned off here, so he shouldn't be breaking any blocks. One good thing. Oh, well, he hit me there. At least his explosion did. So it doesn't look like I'm doing a whole heck of a lot of damage with this needle gun. Okay, well, we're in melee mode, or we were. So let's go ahead and grab out our sword and go for it here. Come on, get him, get him, get him, come on. Ah, man, I'm really flying around here. I can't tell where my hearts are. There we go, first one down. So I really think we probably lost a whole bunch of our ammo cases with that, and I have no idea how our hearts are doing. So how much longer? We've got a lot of wither left on us. So first things first, let's go ahead and take off our chest plate, get a little water back in us. So it's kind of tough to know exactly where I was. So if we zoom out here, yeah, I'd say we probably went a little bit north as we were fighting there. Oh, I am just about ready to die. Oh, man. 1.5 hearts left when I finally stopped on the wither. Now, that was not good. So it's going to take me a little bit to heal back up here. I think I'm going to try to not have quite so much of the melee damage next time, so that might survive a little better. And also, I might go back to the base and get a little bit of instant health potions. And I think that might help. So I'm going to go grab those potions, and I will be back in a little bit. So as you can see now, I have 1 yellow heart. I went ahead and took the yellow heart that I got from the last wither boss, and combined it with my last red heart and made a yellow heart canister as well. So now I've got 11 extra hearts. As you can see here, I have a whole bunch of potions of instant health too. And yeah, I think this time I'm going to try a little bit different tactic. I am going to try to back away far enough that the wither boss cannot track me. And I'm just going to see if I can kill him that way. If that works, I shouldn't have any trouble killing the remaining wither bosses. But what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to place down this last skull. Well, I guess I need to put my chest piece on first. I'm going to put down this last skull, and we are going to hightail it out of here. So let's hope things go good this time. Oh, too high. Am I still shooting too high? Yeah, it looks like he's coming at me, so I'm going to back away a little. Maybe he's not. Now he's out of range. So I'm just going to sit here and just see. Well, he's shooting at something. Maybe he's just angry because he's getting hurt. He's just firing randomly to try to find something? I don't know. Oh, I am pretty sure he is coming towards me. Sure looks like he's getting closer. Oh yeah. Very definitely getting closer. Die, die! Well, it didn't take near as much damage that time. So we'll wait just a bit to consume this potion. So we've got an awful long period of wither to deal with here. But in the meantime, we will go ahead and get our camel pack on here. And let's see, I've got 18 seconds left. I'm sure that I'm withered down enough to at least use one of those. So those give 4 hearts of healing, which is kind of nice. So I'm kind of a little bit disoriented here. Don't know which way I'm looking. So, yeah, that took a fair amount of damage out of me. So once again, it's going to be the waiting game while I heal. And I think what I'm probably going to do now is I'm going to record the rest of these Wither Boss fights, and I'm just going to time-lapse them for you so that you can see what goes on. I doubt there's going to be anything major happen, but yeah, I'm sure you'd like to see it. So we're going to wait for the healing to get going, and then we'll start fighting these guys full bore. So guys, I have been fighting a lot of wither bosses, and yeah, I've got quite a few nether stars, got a lot of those inactive division sigils, and I even got a miniature red heart from one of them. But I've been fighting them for a while before I realized, wait, mob griefing is turned off on this server. So I came down here into a little space that is underneath the center of my base, and built this little tiny room. And what I'm doing is I just place the wither boss up against the wall here and just run over here. Now when he spawns, his head is stuck in the bricks above him and he will actually start taking suffocation damage. And so he just starts shooting everywhere and, you know, it's kind of annoying. But I can just come in here and just hit him, no problem, you know. Since when can you be this close to a wither boss without having any problems? But so, yeah, I think I'm going to save these last few. I've got enough for 7 more right now, but I'm not going to bother killing them at this moment. I am going to put on my jetpack here, and here in this chest, I do have, you know, a whole bunch of division sigils. I suppose I'll grab what I can out of there. And, yeah, we're gonna head back up to the surface of the base here. Now this was my old mob spawner that I had been building, and I had to shut it down because bats were spawning in it. So yeah, I don't really care for that too much. But so we're gonna come over here and just take a look at how many nether stars we have total. Now this is just a temporary thing. I set this up just so that I could get milk, and I'm sure you saw that in the time-lapse. I have quite a few milk bottles here, and I've got this set up to just, the rancher here picks up the milk from the cows, and then we have an item filter in this transfer node that will only take milk buckets that are full. Goes into this autonomous activator, which is trying to click the buckets on this tank. Now coming out of the tank, I have another transfer node that is set to only take empty buckets, and it puts it back into the rancher. So if I were to take some of this milk, if I can get it here, if I were to take some of this milk out of this tank, I'm out of inventory space. Okay, well, I can't show it to you because it happens so quickly, but the buckets will cycle around and around here. But anyway, back to what we were coming over here for. We're going to drop off all of these division sigils, and we'll drop off all these hearts as well. Now, what we were looking for was the nether stars. So if we take a look here, I now have 25 nether stars. Now, what I want to do with those is make a porta spawner, and I think that's here in the Mine Factory. Yep, in Mine Factory Reloaded. The porta spawner takes 2 Enderium, 4 Invar, 2 pieces of glass, and another star. What this allows you to do is pick up a spawner and move it. It is a single-use item, but, and it looks like we need Invar, but it will allow us to move any spawner. Ah, jetpack. That is such a problem. Okay, so we are going to drop off a little bit of this stuff here. And we're going to go and take a look at something that is near the base. If we can get there. So a little bit away from the base, originally there was nothing, and I noticed after a while of exploring and time on the map, we had a graveyard show up. And I guess I went the wrong direction. But we had a graveyard show up just outside of the base here. And I know that it wasn't before because I definitely would have seen it. So if we come down here just a little ways, right there we have a graveyard. So what I want to do is come down here, and these graveyards are just absolutely loaded with spawners. Speaking of spawners, we need to get out of here. So what I'm going to try to do is get away from here before I completely die. But we are going to try to pick up some of the useful spawners out of there and transport them to a location that we can have the mobs spawn and be ground up at our base. So I am going to go ahead and set up a pattern for these porta spawners, get a few of them made up, and we are going to work on conquering and collecting all of the useful spawners out of this graveyard. So I will be back in just a little bit. So guys, I'm here outside of the cemetery. I've got my porta spawners, and I didn't realize that I wasn't recording just a bit ago. So I'm going to go over this again. I'm going to be going in here and grabbing the most useful spawners. And I think the ones that I want the most are Skeleton and Blaze. But I'll see what else is available. Right now I have one Skeleton and one Blaze spawner, and I know there's at least one more Blaze spawner in here, and at least a Spider spawner and some other stuff. Now unfortunately, like I said, these are single use, so I don't want to waste them if I can help it. But I'm going to quick jump in here. We're going to see what I can find, and then we will figure it out from there. So all that I can do is come in here, there's a Blaze, and I'm just going to go one at a time here. Ooh, Creeper. Nope, that's the wrong spawner thing, so... But, yeah, I'll just go through here and grab these up. There's another Skeleton. So, I'm going to do this, and we'll just see what we can get. And zombies are definitely going to get broken. So, I'll be back in a little bit, guys. So, I'm back in the underbelly of the center of the base here. And I think this is where we're going to set up our spawners chamber. So, off of that cemetery, I got 2 Blaze spawners, 3 Skeleton spawners, and 2 Creeper spawners. Now, I think these are the ones that I'm going to want, and also the Enderman spawners. So that will give me 4 different rooms that I can make here, and then I'll just have a central AFK type area where I can activate all of the spawners and then have grinders just kind of getting rid of everything. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging here and get some stuff set up, and we will place these spawners in here in just a second. So I pretty much have got everything that I need here to make these rooms work, with the exception of these conveyor belts. I'm going to need quite a few more of those, but I'm going to have to make them up. But we're just going to set in the first set here. This is pretty close to good enough. I don't think we'll have a lot of problems. But what we're going to do now, we are going to take a grinder and place it right here. Now this will give us something to kill the mobs with. And then beside it here, we are going to put in some transfer nodes. A transfer node here should pick up the items from the grinder, and then we can send them into a tesseract. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to get into our bag here, and we're going to grab some items for power. So first off, we're going to set down our tesseract, and we're going to make sure that this is set to the ME items in, and that we're set to send or receive energy and send items. And I think we'll also set it to send fluid, but at the moment we won't be setting up the fluid. So now we're going to take our energy conduits and put these in here. Now at this point, this grinder should have power, and it's just waiting for something to kill. So now we're going to go ahead and get into this room, and this one we are going to put down the Enderman. Now I did go up to the city to the north where I had all of my spawners, and I grabbed the Enderman and skeleton spawners from there. So we are going to come in here, if we can get in here. Oh, we have an uneven step up, and so that doesn't work. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we are going to set these spawners in here. Now one problem that I have been having here is mobs spawning in here, so this should solve that, or bats spawning in here, so this should solve that problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down 2 blocks, and then we are going to place our first spawner. Now these will start spawning right away, but right now I don't think that should be a problem. Now we have 4 of these total, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to place these in one right on top of the other. And we have room for a few more of these, and now we can go ahead and get out of the way. And we should start to see here in just a bit these guys being killed. So we should have ender pearls in here now. So now what we need to do is grab the proper chest, or the proper bag, and we will grab our transfer pipes. And that's not where I wanted that one. But what we're going to do is we're going to take these down so that they can be hooked into the Tesseract as well. And actually we are going to have to change this just a little bit. We're going to move our energy conduit down to the bottom of the Tesseract, and we will put the transfer pipe into the side. So at this point we should be now sending all of those items into our ME system, and we don't have to worry about it anymore, so that's great. So we are collecting mob essence that we won't be using at the moment, but we'll also be getting all of the monster eggs. These red endermen give us, I believe it's redstone and glistering melons. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that we can pick up. But, yep, I'm going to do this again for the other rooms. I'll get enough conveyor belts so that they're all working. I'll probably put a sound muffler down here too, because those guys are really annoying. But, anyway, we are out of time for this episode. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If I get enough thumbs up on this video, I will be continuing on with the Crash Landing series. As you guys probably know, I have started a new series with Technode Firmacraft, and so I'd like to know how much support there is for this series, and if you guys really want to see it, I will continue it on. So just let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye!